Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Like a small nudge at the bottom brings down a complete house of cards, it often takes only an honest question to tear through a web of lies built on shaky foundation. In this case, it was the Supreme Court of India asking why not let the Kerala story be told in your states when it is running in the rest of the country peacefully. The foundation of the blackout Kerala story was built on the premise that the movie was Islamophobic and motivated hate campaigns to influence polls, and a ban was necessary for the sake of peace and harmony in the society. However, the rationale couldn't stand the test of an honest question in the Supreme Court today. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, the question asked by the Supreme Court is significant since reports now show that the Kerala story has been seen by over 6 million people in the first few days of the release and is on its way to cross the 100 crore mark, entering that exalted club of successful films in the country, considered a barometer for super successful cinema. In the light of the love it has received, one needs to ask, what's the real agenda behind the call to boycott and black out the Kerala story? After all, these are the honest questions that need to be asked for the truth to come out. Pulling up the West Bengal government, which is the only state in the country to ban the movie, the top court asserted that the movie is running in the rest of the country, including in states having similar demographic composition as West Bengal, and that nothing untoward has been seen or has happened in any of these states. The Supreme Court also said that the decision to watch the movie or boycott should be left to the public, to the people who are paying for their tickets to go and watch a film. The Supreme Court even rapped the Tamil Nadu Sarkar for not taking security measures and instead looking the other way after theatres in the state took a decision to pull off the movie, citing law and order situation, virtually showing that there was, if not an actual formal ban, but a shadow ban that was going on in the state. However, the critics stuck to their guns. Listen in to what they had to say.
No, we have taken a position. The West Bengal government has banned the exhibition of Kerala story in West Bengal. Earlier, the Tamil Nadu government had done the same thing. I have seen that BJP ruled states have made the Kerala story film tax-free. We are not in agreement with that. We think Kerala story will deepen the communal divide. Let the Supreme Court give a final verdict.
इसके पहले भी फिल्म बैन हुआ है और पूरा हिंदुस्तान में एक साथ बैन नहीं हुआ. कोई राज्य किया, कोई राज्य नहीं किया. ये तो कोई नया बात नहीं है, मगर हम लोग जनरली बैन करने के खिलाफ है. केरला स्टोरी ये 100% झूठ है. ये कॉन्स्पिरेसी है सरकार के खिलाफ, आरएसएस का. ये तो धीरे धीरे सामने आ रहा है. इसको एक्सपोज करना ही बहुत बात है. इम्पोज बेआईनी करने से क्या होता है, उसको पब्लिसिटी ज़्यादा मिलता है.
It's not the matter of movie. It's a part of the hate campaign. Some people in this country are trying to, spread hate among the society. It's a false story. They are trying to create an Islamophobia through this. So it's a purely a part of hate campaign to polarize this society and to use that polarization for their political benefits.
But the movie has found endorsement from top echelons in the BJP, from BJP President JP Nadda to Smriti Irani to Himanta Biswa Sarma to today Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath and his cabinet, and many more who have gone and watched the movie on the big screen. The Saffron Party has maintained that the appeasement politics is leading to a blockade. Listen in.
This is another incident where Mamata Banerjee's hypocrisy and double standardness has come to the forefront. All the states screening this film, which is so relevant in today's time, but Mamata Banerjee banning it. So it again proves that Mamata Banerjee is always by the side of these militant outfits, which was shown in the film. It's, very shameful, that West Bengal, once a hub of culture and literature, is now, taking these kind of steps only because of appeasement politics, because of Mamata's 30% vote bank.
The case is expected to come up in the Supreme Court once again on Wednesday, with replies to the notices issued today from both Tamil Nadu and West Bengal governments, and we'll wait to watch what the verdict is. But tonight, ladies and gentlemen, the legitimate question we're asking on the NewsHour: who's disturbed by Kerala's story? That's the question, and that's the debate coming up on the other side.
You're watching the NewsHour at 9. Debate number 1 on Times Now, Super Prime Time.
And joining me on the debate tonight, GVL Narasimha Rao, Member of Parliament and National Spokesperson of the BJP, Dr. Anand Ranganathan, author, Biswajit Deb, Spokesperson of the Trinamool Congress and Senior Advocate, Abbas Haider, National Spokesperson of the Samajwadi Party, and Tehseen Poonawala, Political Analyst, joins me in the studio tonight. My first question goes to Mr. Biswajit Deb, Spokesperson of the Trinamool Congress. Mr. Biswajit Deb, the Supreme Court has asked you the billion-dollar question. If there is peace and harmony in the rest of the country, why is West Bengal so worried about screening the Kerala story? Do you not have confidence that you can maintain law and order in your own state? Is that the reason why both freedom of speech, freedom of expression, creative freedom, as well as commercial activity has come to a standstill in West Bengal as far as this movie is concerned?
You see, freedom of speech is of course there and always there. But you must know that there are reasonable restrictions also. Now in Bengal, what has happened under the provisions of Section 6 of the West Bengal Cinema Amendment Act 1954, this particular film has been prohibited for exhibition. The reason is, the section clearly says that if there is any reasonable apprehension of breach of peace, the state government can prohibit a particular film from being exhibited. And we apprehend, as per our intelligence report, and as per our report, the state government apprehends that there are reasonable reasons that there might be a breach of peace if this film is allowed to be exhibited in the film theatres. Now the question is, the Supreme Court, the Honourable Supreme Court has issued notice. Well, I am not on that. But the state government is well within its right. It is the prerogative of the state government that if it apprehends that there might be breach of peace, the state government can prohibit a particular film from being exhibited. This film is based on division. It intends to divide the people on the basis of religion. So that is why Mamata Banerjee has taken a call that there might be a violence in this particular state if this film is allowed to be exhibited.
Mr. Deb, you're a senior advocate. You're a senior advocate, and I want to ask you, have you seen the film?
Can I tell you that I have gone through this story? I have read this story. I have personally read this story. I know this story, and we have got the inputs that this particular film, if allowed to be exhibited in the theatres, that might create a law and order problem.
Well,
and that is why.
Well, that is a report that can be given by any intelligence unit of any government for any film. But I want to ask you, Mr. Biswajit Deb, I want to ask you on Padmavat. On Padmavat also there were similar apprehensions. Why did you allow Padmavat to be screened? At that time you controlled the law and order. Why can't you control it now?
If you say that, then there is a long list. What about BBC documentary?
Yeah, BBC documentary, yes.
There's a long list. I can read out that list.
The BBC documentary you said should be shown.
I don't want to go into that controversy.
Why not?
There's a long list. There is a long list where BJP-led governments have banned have banned various films.
Absolutely,
I
I
am not
agree.
on that.
So
I
you
am
are
on
also,
my
you
state.
are
What
agreeing
is
that
happening
you
in my
are
state? I am
hypocritical.
not on that.
You are only
I
saying
am
that
on-
BJP is
I-
also
we are not-
hypocritical.
No.
You
not
are
at
saying
all.
BJP is also
Not at
hypocritical,
all.
so allow me to be
You admit this
hypocritical.
particular fact. You admit this fact. You admit this fact that BJP has done this, citing law and order situation in various states, in Gujarat,
GVL
Uttar Pradesh,
Narasimha Rao.
everywhere.
GVL Narasimha Rao,
And this is
Mr.
a
Biswajit
prerogative
Dev
of
is
the
not
state
confident
government.
that his
It
state
is
can
the prerogative
control
of the
law
state
and order if
government.
Kerala
And it-
story is screened in West
not at
Bengal.
all. You see,
You know, but he wants
it is
BBC
the
documentary
cast
to be
upon the
freely
state
shown
to
everywhere.
protect its
Respond, Mr.
citizens.
GVL Narasimha
It
Rao,
is the-
to
it is the-
Mr.
it is the
Biswajit Dev.
prerogative. It is the prerogative of the state government.
You see, Mr. Biswajit has not seen the film, and he comes from a state which is possibly 1500 kilometers away from Kerala, and Kerala has not banned the film. In Kerala, it is being screened to full houses. I just looked at how the film is doing in Kerala. The film is based in a place called Kasaragod, if I remember correctly. I watched the film. And in Kasaragod, it is being screened. It is being screened in Kozhikode, the Calicut. It's being screened in Kochi. It's being screened in Trivandrum. And it's almost being watched to full houses in Malayalam. It's also being watched in Hindi, but more people obviously watch it in Malayalam. Kerala story is being watched in Kerala, and Kerala parties or government have not objected to it, nor have they banned it, nor have they stated it to be untrue. But Mamata Banerjee, sitting 2000 kilometers away, wants to decide about the veracity of this story. How funny, how paradoxical. Does it make any sense at all? It doesn't have a problem in Kerala because Kerala parties in government, whether it's communist now or Congress earlier, Achyutanandan, as the former Chief Minister of Kerala from the CPM, he said this Kerala, there is a conspiracy to convert Kerala into a Muslim majority state by way of forced conversions. His speeches are going viral on the net. Women Chandy, a Congress Chief Minister in the floor of House, said between 2006 and 12, nearly 7,000 conversions have happened into Islam. And they have no problem. None of these parties in Kerala have come out and criticized it. Government of Kerala is mum on this. But Mamata Banerjee, I don't know whether she gets inputs from ISIS intelligence or whether it is Bengal police intelligence. I don't know. She has a problem with this film, and she wants to comment on the accuracy of this film.
Mamata Banerjee has seen how.
So what? Please tell me your logic.
Tried to create
If Kerala has no
violence here in
problem with
Bengal.
it,
Mamata Banerjee
if
has
Kerala
seen
has no problem with it,
how
Kerala has
BJP
nearly
created
50%
one
Muslim.
after another
Why does
incident in
Bengal have a
and
problem with it? Please
how
answer this
BJP incited violence
Please
in
answer
Bengal.
this.
So
If
that is
Kerala
why
has no
Mamata
problem with the
Banerjee has
film.
decided not to allow violence at the instigation of BJP.
So if Kerala does not have a problem, why does West Bengal want to put a lid on this?
It doesn't
What
make sense
Kerala
to me
is
at all.
not-
It doesn't make sense to me at all. But Tehseen Poonawalla, let me,
In Kerala,
let me come across to you, Tehseen.
in Bengal,
Issue
BJP
is
has-
just being
BJP
blown out
has
of
done a
proportion,
lot
and today the
lot
Supreme
of
Court,
violent activities.
Mr. Biswajit, one minute. The Supreme Court has raised the right question. The rest of the country, now it's 1 week since the film was released, it's getting into the 100 crore club. Nowhere have we seen any untoward incident happening because of the film. Why is Miss Mamata Banerjee so worried about this film being screened in West Bengal? Why is there a shadow ban in Tamil Nadu? You know, it completely escapes any logic. Are they not confident of law and order being maintained in their own states? Are they so deficient in maintaining law and order? Is that the reason? Or is there, as everybody is saying, is there only appeasement that keeps them so busy that they will even come out and support ISIS?
If logic was a commodity that was rare to find, then in our nation and our political leadership, cutting across party lines, we would have none of it. Because sitting on this screen, and I can tell you this with confidence, and I speak for Dr. Ranganathan, except Dr. Ranganathan and me, everyone on this screen is a hypocrite, everyone. So it'll be fun to expose them. The TMC will say this Kerala Files love story, whatever that is a nonsensical movie, you have to ban it. And the people standing up for freedom of speech of Kerala Files is GVL Narasimha Rao ji, who I will invite in Delhi to join Anand and me to watch the BBC documentary. He'll say, no, we cannot, they will ban it. And they'll both go to, and BJP will go in court and say, no, we've not banned anything. So everyone, Congress also, so before you attack me on Congress and the Samajwadi Party, they are all a bunch of hypocrites on all political parties. No one will uphold freedom of speech. The fact is, I may think it's a bakwas movie. I may think it's a terrible movie. Once the censor board clears a movie, we are supposed to respect it. Nobody is supposed to be a super authority. If I can come on time now and say that the Home Minister of Madhya Pradesh was wrong when he got after Pathan, and he said, I will be a super censor and ban it. So is Mamata Banerjee and Tamil Nadu wrong. You cannot be a super censor. This, for God's sake, is a democracy. And in a democracy, the rule of law will prevail. And unfortunately, whoever wants to appease whatever vote bank they want, they will. But the problem is, neither do Hindus react, neither do Muslims react. As you rightly said, ma'am, has anyone, whichever community, reacted to this movie? No one's reacted. Did anyone react to the BBC documentary? Nobody. But the BJP will do politics on the name of Hindus, the TMC will do it on the name of Muslims, and the poor Hindu and the Muslim have a common enemy: unemployment, jobs, hunger. Please focus on that. Focus on how India becomes a superpower. Stop these politics and stop being a hypocrite. Thank you, ma'am.
No, stop this politics, but the Congress party did enough politics on Padmavat.
Terrible, and I'm going to sit here and tell you, banning that Salman Rushdie book was wrong. I am not going to stand here and say it was right, because you have to call a spade a spade. But 2023 cannot be that the Congress did something wrong in the 80s, 90s. I'm telling you, it's terrible. The Congress has done terrible. Who started it? The Congress started it. I'm not going to, I vote for the Congress. I'm not going to come here and say they did the right thing. Emergency was wrong. But just because they did something wrong,
so you are a fence
will do something wrong.
You are a fence sitter as always. Fence sitter as always.
I'm not a fence sitter. I'm very clear.
Well,
I'm very clear.
Well, Abbas Haider, today Akhilesh Yadav now sees a UP story in the Kerala story. What is this UP story? Just because Yogi Adityanath went and watched the film, now Mr. Akhilesh Yadav has a problem with the film? Everywhere, in every state, it is running to packed houses. But West Bengal has a problem, Akhilesh Yadav has a problem, Owaisi ji has a problem. So it is an opposition issue. Do you think Kerala story is now going to be a subject leading up to 2024? Because that's the way it's panning out. Opposition on one side, BJP on the other, almost as if you've got a subject, a mudda for 2024.
See, Navika ji, Bharatiya Janata Party has failed to give employment to the youth. It has failed to bring down inflation. But one thing they do terribly well, and that is movie publicity, PR. I think they should, why don't they charge for this? I think they should start charging for the publicity of movie. We can see that in just a week span, this movie has, run 80 crore business. That's a lot. But the problem is, see, this is not Kerala story. This is Karnataka election story. This is UP Nikai Chunav story. Actually, real Karnataka story is where people live with, all the people across religious spectrum, they live together from like centuries. And they have none incident of communal hatred or any riot or anything like that. So that is real Kerala. Real Kerala is where, a Hindu marriage take place in a mosque. That is real Kerala. But UP CM is not bothered about any such thing. He has not seen movie. He has, waived off tax on this movie even before watching it. 3 days before that, before the second phase of the UP Nikai election, he has done this. So basically, he's not bothered what's in the movie. What movie is that? He's just bothered about his divisive politics. He is just bothered to, gain votes on these issues. She's bothered about these politics. That's
such moral high ground. Such moral high ground. And when Mr. Akhilesh Yadav comments on the movie, he is not divisive, Anand Ranganathan. He is talking about the good of everybody in this country when he is opposed to the Kerala story. And he finds a common cause with Mamata Banerjee, with MK Stalin, with Asaduddin Owaisi. And it is his party which sees, bhatka hua insan in Murtaza who attacked the Gorakhnath temple. His party sees a Muslim in Atiq Ahmed. That's how they position it. And his party says Shaista Ahmed is not a mafia. Very, very convenient because ये प्यार मोहब्बत की बातें करते हैं. ये divisive नहीं है.
Good evening, Navika, and good evening to my fellow panelists. First of all, can I please take 20 seconds to applaud my good friend Tehseen for being fearlessly objective tonight and accepting that his party, along with all other parties, are a bunch of hypocrites. Tehseen, I really applaud you. And I have to say this, that there are Congress supporters who said a fraction of what you've said and have been sacked into oblivion. So obviously marrying into the dynasty pays very well. You can be brutally honest. Now, Navika, coming back to this issue, and it's a very important issue, please allow me a couple of minutes, because let me be very honest, the Kerala story is going to be the India story if we continue to bury our head in the sand. I fail to understand why anyone should object to this film. Even the High Court and the Supreme Court have said that this film does not insult Islam, whatever that means. In a country where a Muslim stand-up comic can make fun and mock 59 Hindus being burnt alive in a train, where Hindu holy books are gleefully burnt. So why should Muslims be angry? How many stories will you ban? The present Kerala Chief Minister is on record saying that 100 Keralites joined ISIS. Is he lying? Is he a Sanghi? Yes, the actual figure given in the film may be contentious, all right. But Kerala Muslims joining ISIS is not fiction. And to be sure, even if it was fictitious or a lie, that is even more of a reason not to ban the film. And as for these chauthi fails saying banning lies is not against freedom of speech, I take it they want to ban a book that says Earth was created in 6 days, that moon was split in half, and that man was molded from black clay. If that isn't Islamophobia, I don't know what is. But the writing is on the wall, Navika. The Kerala story is a reality. Because love jihad is a reality. Because forced conversions are a reality. Because ISIS is a reality. Kerala Muslims going to Syria to join and fight ISIS is a reality. So what exactly is fiction? What exactly is Islamophobic? Instead of admitting to the reality of ISIS and what they were complying to, these so-called moderate Muslims are perennially playing the victim card. They are the ones who are Islamophobic. They fear Islam. They fear to bring out the commandments of their holy book in their entirety because they fear being called illiberal and hypocrites. They snare the fundamentalists but spare the fundamentals. ISIS were following the fundamentals. Every serious Islamic scholar, Arabic or otherwise, has admitted to this. And every single time the apologists cringe at violence or retribution being ordered upon the non-believers, they can hide that most such orders are open-ended and for all time. It is silly and specious to claim that all orders that apply to non-believers are meant for non-believers of that time. But all orders that apply to believers are meant not only for believers of that time, but also of today's time. Why are you embarrassed by these orders? Islam prides itself in being supremacist, prides itself in othering those who are from other religions. In fact, every true Muslim is taught from birth that he or she is superior to a non-Muslim. And that is the reason why it is every Muslim's duty to convert non-Muslims to Muslim. So what's the issue here? Just 30 seconds, Navika. Muslims say it with pride. The verse, no one has the right to be worshipped but Allah 40:62. Polytheists are the worst of creatures 98:6. Fight against those who do not believe in Allah.
No.
Fight
but the point is, the point is, Anand Ranganathan, this film is not about all Muslims, it's about the ISIS plot. Why is the opposition coming out and supporting the ISIS plot against Indian girls? Isn't that a story that they should be worried about? And is there some plot?
I'll tell you why.
That is the real question.
They are embarrassed because and I've answered that question. They are embarrassed because their fellow Muslims in ISIS were following these orders.
Abbas, either respond to Anand Ranganathan.
See, this is going somewhere else. This is going to be a religious debate. But the supreme authority of Islam is Quran, and Quran says, "Lakum dinakum waliyadin." You follow your religion and let others follow their religion. It says that, like Rafiddin, there is no compulsion in religion. This is Islam which we follow, and the Indian Muslim follow. I don't know about where Mr. Ranganathan has read about Islam, but I'm not here to talk about Islam. Listen,
you tell me whether it is true that no one has the right to be worshipped but Allah 40:62. You tell me whether polytheists are the worst of creatures 98:6 is true or not.
So, there are 99 names of Allah in Quran. You know, Rabb is a name of Allah in Quran. You know, you know, Rab is the name of Allah. There are 99 names of Allah in Quran, and there are many others names which we don't know. So don't try to, you know, don't try to create a vicious atmosphere with little knowledge. So don't get into it.
Why are you embarrassed? Why are you embarrassed? Tell me. Why are you embarrassed by the verses?
So what is being embarrassed? Muhammad Rasulullah, what does that mean?
31.
That means Muhammad is messenger of Allah, and there have been 1,24,000 messengers of Allah, not just one.
But that's
not just
true,
one.
but that's no, Anand Ranganathan, you are taking this debate into another area. I am limiting this. I'm limiting this debate to the Kerala story. Why do you fear the Kerala story? It's a film inspired by a real incident. It's a film inspired by real incidents. The numbers can be quibbled about, but the fact of the matter is, it is telling a story that has happened, that has been stated by former chief ministers, Chandy, Achyutanandan, the Kerala High Court has spoken about. What is wrong with the film, Mr. Dev, that, you know, the film has to be banned because you think that there is some intelligence input that law and order will be disturbed?
It's not a question of thinking. It's a fact that there will be a law and order problem. Because that is our intelligence.
Why is West Bengal different from others? The Supreme Court has asked you, the demography of West Bengal is like any other state in this country. Other states have not had the problem.
If you don't allow me to speak, if you don't allow me to speak, then leave it. Then leave it.
I'm asking you about the demography.
I'm trying to tell you that.
Okay.
I'm trying to tell you that. You are interrupting. You are interrupting. Please don't do that. You see, the state, it is the prerogative of the state government. If the state government considers that there might be a breach of peace, it is under the Act. I have told you regarding the particular Act, the West Bengal Cinemas Regulation Act 1954, Section 6. It is very clear. And someone was talking about the Film Censor Board. No, the censor board is not the authority. The authority is the state government. Whether a particular film will be prohibited or not. It is not the Film Censor Board. It is the state government, and it is the duty cast upon the state government to protect its citizens. And that is why, as a preventive measure, the state government has considered it necessary.
GVL Narasimha Rao.
Because the film is based. Because the film is based.
I think the same point is being repeated by the TMC spokesperson. While the state may have technically a right, the Supreme Court or the courts of this country have a right to really review your decisions. Your decisions are not final. I think, please, I think you are a lawyer and I'm sure you understand this. If you make a decision which is not based on a reasonable assessment, the court can obviously force you to withdraw that decision or strike it down. Your decisions can always be struck down by the courts of this country. Number one. Number two, I appeal to the producers of this film. Mr. Shah, please dub this film in Bengali. Every Bengali should see this film.
Read out that particular list.
Please. No, whatever you write in the law, I think common sense. If you are a lawyer, please don't you understand? Whatever you may write into the law,
shall I read out that
particular
list?
Right
how many bans on how many films?
No, whatever you may write, I'm saying,
this is
every law and every decision can be reviewed under the larger constitution.
Your divisive politics.
It's a right
you
of
know
a
very well
to be informed.
What are you doing?
And you are, no, Navika, please ask him to be quiet for 30 seconds. It's the right of a citizen to be informed. And you are taking away that fundamental right. And the Supreme Court or any High Court can strike down your order because you are hurting, you are depriving citizens of their fundamental right to be informed. So you may claim you have done any ordinance or any act, it will be thrown into the dustbin.
Let the Honorable Supreme Court decide. It is not for you to decide. Let the Honorable Supreme Court to decide that. And we will give our argument also.
But you cannot.
We have our arguments too.
You cannot keep
and that is what
that
we will also submit before the Supreme Court. Nobody is above the law. Nobody is above the law.
No,
And we will give
but
our
the Supreme
arguments to-
Court
Yes,
has
yes,
rapped you on the knuckles.
Navika.
The Supreme Court has rapped you on the knuckles twice over, Mr. Dev, and you're still defending your decision, Anand Ranganathan.
Yes.
You know, they'll abide by the law,
Yes, yes.
but they don't understand the direction of the Supreme Court's
Honorable
observation.
Supreme Court. The Honorable
Navika,
Supreme
Biswajit
Court
Da.
has not
Biswajit Da,
passed
please.
any interim order.
Biswajit Da, I hold you in
can
high
see
respect.
that no
Please,
interim
Biswajit.
order was passed
Biswajit Da.
based on the petition filed by the petitioner.
Navika.
Okay, Anand
Biswajit
Ranganathan.
Da. Biswajit Da, please, I hold you in very high regard. Navika, through you, I want to ask the good Mr. Biswajit Da a very simple question. Just a very direct question. Exactly 20 years ago to the day, the CPIM government banned Taslima Nasreem's book Lajja. The one who protested on the streets and said, lift this ban, was Didi, Mamata Banerjee. But when she came to power 10 years ago, for the last 10 years, Lajja continues to be banned. So I want to ask Biswajit Da, should Lajja continue to be banned given that Mamata Banerjee once wanted to unban it? It's a simple question, Biswajit Da.
The situation change. It is the change of the situation. Try to understand that. Due to the change of the situation,
What
this
situation?
particular ban has not been lifted. And
What situation
if any
changed?
book, any film which may incite violence, which may lead to violence, that will not be allowed in Bengal. And
So
that is
Mamata
the
Didi was wrong?
decision of Mamata Banerjee.
So was
and that is the
Mamata Didi
decision of the
wrong
state
when she
government.
wanted to lift the ban? Was she wrong when she wanted to
At
lift the ban?
that time, Mr. Ranganathan, at that time she was right.
Okay.
According
When she came to power,
Positions change, Dr. Anand
took a call.
Ranganathan, as
She
per
took a call
convenience.
that
And
this
that
must
is
not be
exactly
allowed.
what is on display right here. Question is, the Kerala story. The Kerala story is a story. Which government will repay the losses if the Supreme Court actually decides on Wednesday next that there is no ground for a ban of the film? It is a commercial enterprise. The film is a commercial situation, and a commercial film which is not being banned by the Supreme Court, though there were such petitions that had been filed. Why should it suffer because there is politics that comes into it, is a question this country will have to think about. Otherwise, should I not ask you, Tehseen Poonawalla, what business does the Central Board of Film Certification have? Why don't political parties have cabinet meetings and decide which films should be seen by people of the state? Because everything boils down to that.
Which films, which documentaries, which
What people should eat, what people should
eat,
wear.
and I'm telling you, this will even come down to news channels, and it's already started. You have some people calling Godi media, you have some people calling it.
No, they even
and
arrest.
Calling,
They even
Darbari
arrest media.
And they arrest me, and you faced it.
Yes.
So the point is that this has to end.
So then,
what freedom?
So then, my question to you is, will you stop calling Mr. Modi a Hitler? Because everybody is a Hitler here. Do you agree? Do you agree?
We are in a sea of
Do you agree?
I agree. We are all a sea of hypocrites. We are a sea of
Exactly.
hypocrites.
Well,
Everyone's a hypocrite.
Well, then next time,
including Mr. Modi.
the next
including
time
Mr. Modi.
when opposition leaders say democracy is dead in this country, they only need to look within. And on that note, we'll wait and watch what happens when the Supreme Court gives its verdict on this film. And what will the Bengal government and the Tamil Nadu government say in response to the Supreme Court notice to defend the position that they've taken? Because, ladies and gentlemen, in the 21st century, despite the existence of a censor board, there are decisions that are taken by governments based only on what suits them in their politics, because every other month there are elections in this country. Is that how this country will run? It's a question you, viewers, and us will have to think about. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for joining me on debate number 1. On the other side, ladies and gentlemen,